This is gonna be cold. The fate of the slave, or what happens to you when you're puffed and fluffed into a prison that you willingly go into. Okay, so I don't know how it works in the Western world, since I don't live there for a long time now. So here's the mentality of a person, of a woman who lives in Japan, who does not work full time and receives a salary. You don't make money, so you don't get to express your opinion. You don't make money, so you don't get the chance to be heard of what you think and what you want to do, or anything about you, really. You have a house, you have a car, you have an insurance, you're given some money for food and for the house and for the children you're raising. What you want to do, what you want to accomplish, where you want to be, and what you want to become doesn't matter. You are a nobody with no paycheck, and you have no opinion. Okay? That mentality explains now to me. It makes a lot of sense why I have been quiet for so many years. I did not contribute to this marriage a lot, really. I did not contribute money to this marriage. I was not back into my country where I could work freely, or in English-speaking countries where I could work. I started working full-time as an English teacher when my third boy was 2 years old. Now he is 9, so that's 7 years ago. So, and I've been married for 13 years. One of them was in Hawaii, one of them was in Belfast, so 11 years here. So what I'm saying is, for those years I've been here, I had to bite my tongue. I not really bite my, not like keeping my mouth shut, more like my focus was not really on what I want to do or where I want to end up. On the back of my head, I always wanted to be in an English-speaking country or in the States, where I knew how things work, because I served my mission there, I went to school there, and even though they were two different places, it was just, so that's, anyways, my point is, my focus was never like what I want to do. The focus was always how we're going to provide for the family. And at first it was just him working part-time when I had 2 boys in the house. And we realized a part-time job feeding a family of 4 is not enough. I felt absolutely horrible every time when his father would come to the house with bags of groceries. He didn't feel bad about it. He just took it as something normal. I felt absolutely horrible every time, along with all the other stuff that we've been helped along the years from his parents living next door. And it's not a comfortable feeling. It's not a comfortable feeling to know that there's somebody that will come, and it's like, if you want to enjoy life, you can't, because you don't have the financial means for, say, go travel or go visit something, because you don't have enough. So you have to take care of diapers and food and formula for the babies and all that. And then he started working full time, and then hello baby boy, and my third boy came. That is a blur to me. I don't remember much. Hello sweetheart, woke up from my nap. Oh sweet kissy, I love you. And it was I still remember. I know that feeling. I know it's because it's way too familiar. It's like you can't say much. You can't do much. You don't have the financial support to express your opinion about anything. Starting an English school upstairs in the house in 2 rooms, that's an income. Embraced it. Do I like it? No. The family, the American family that suggested us to do that, they talked about the, basically, yeah, that's a tiger, baby. That's a tiger. They talked about the financial part of it, but then the wife said, that's many years ago. The Yamato was a baby still, my oldest. She said, it's gonna be a bit difficult, because your house is not gonna be your house anymore. It's gonna be, there will be no privacy. It will be like just people coming in and out all the time. And if you guys are okay with that, it's not like if you were okay with that, there was no choice about it. And so I don't know if that was his original plan all along or not, but it seems to me like I always went along with it. Whatever it was that provides us financial support, I went with it. Him doing his PhD, I think, was the hardest time, because I had 3 little boys, and he was always in one room locked up, and not locked up, but like always in that room with his computer, or going to different city for his research part. And 6 months actually in England, that was the toughest. Like when I think back, flying to my home country, to Bulgaria, with 3 little toddlers was not as hard as raising them pretty much without a father's presence their entire life. Yeah, there were times and days when we would go together to places, and we would travel to Bulgaria, and we would, I don't really remember. We didn't even travel to Bulgaria with him, because he met us from England, and I went back to England, and we flew from Bulgaria to here, and he flew from England to here. So it was really weird. It was always like something was real, and I kept rolling with it, and I kept going with it. I kept accepting that things might change, everything can get better, and maybe someday he will realize what he's putting his wife through. I always hoped. But the more I hoped, the more disappointed I felt, because it seemed like wife and kids are not the focus anymore. The more comfortable he gets here, the more we feel like we are just the accessory, the extra part of the whole living experience for the guy. And then I was like, wait a minute. I am an English teacher now for so many years. I stopped for 2 years because I was pregnant with the twins. So from 2020 to 2022 April, I was at home, and I had 3 boys going in pandemic to school, praying every day hard that they're not gonna bring anything here in the house to the twins, because they were so small. They were infants. Then on top of that, he still had his classes upstairs, so I had to isolate the place and have and sanitize like crazy after everybody, and people walking and up and down the house and the hallways. And I had 2 babies, and it was cold. They were born in January, and it was cold, and all I wanted was like, I wanted peace and quiet, and I didn't have it because I had 3 other boys, and I had all those people walking the hallways of this house. I think that's when I realized, like, and then he started building his school. That means a lot of debt. That means you have to build, first demolish an old building, build a parking lot for all those people to park their cars here, and then have the school built and move everybody and everything there, including things like whatever he could take from this house as toys and puzzles or whatever he could take, even though it was the boys. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. But then that was the weirdest part of all. I was like, so we're not in the house. Good. We can have the house to ourselves for the kids. But then we hear his voice. My kids see him playing with other people's kids outside. And when he comes into the house, he's on his phone all the time. Or like sleeping and on the phone. It's like, how can you be so nice and friendly to those other people's kids because they pay you to take care of them? Nobody pays you here to take care of your own 5 kids. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. And for those 2 years when I was having a break from work, and I didn't have any privileges of receiving anything while I was taking the break. It was basically leaving the job and reapplying again afterwards, because my company is private company, is not governmental, so they don't pay you for 2 years to stay home and watch your kids. It was a very, very humbling, slavery-like mindset. I had to make it through month to month with diapers and formula and the other 3 kids food and whatever they needed. And I used a lot of savings for that, which I'm grateful I did. I did have savings from the previous almost 5 years of work, so I could use that money plus whatever meager he's giving me, so I could meet ends. But then again, you can't say much because you're not making money, so you cannot really say much. What is this? What century mindset is that for your wife? I want to know. In other countries, if they do that, that's really sad. How they see it here is that you work, you make your own money, you're independent. Well, I have kids that are my dependent. And even if I didn't work, the housework and the kids, that counts as well. Not in here though. Not in here. And here, being at home, watching your kids for 2 years, the twins, watching them for 2 years at home. This is a lazy mother, you guys. You have to kick them out at 3 months infants in the daycare, and you have to go back to work. And he, in his mercy, let me stay and watch them for 2 years. So people can say, oh, so nice, he let her stay home and watch her kids. That's nice. That means they can afford it. Oh my goodness. This is so messed up, world. This is so messed up. Anyways, but this is what I wanted to say today. The mindset of a slave is, I cannot say much. I'll go with whatever it is because I don't have the financial support to state my mind